Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Tarot with Kuka. It is Sunday, July 5th, 2020. I have noticed a pattern in my recent reads the past few weeks. I've literally been pulling some repeater cards, and so I kind of took it as the universe is trying to instill a message into us that we're still in the learning process of the same message. But last Wellness Wednesday with two different decks, where one of the decks was actually used weeks prior, and I literally drew the same two cards. So something that's kind of come to my attention where I'm kind of thinking maybe it's my lack of shuffling skills that is doing this. So I'm going to do something really different today. So I'm going to actually clear the deck again with everybody, and I am also going to kind of do a complete mixing of the cards and then do a shuffle, and we will see what messages we get today. So remember, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. You are watching Tarot with Kuka, and this is our weekly guidance with the Santa Muerte Book of the Dead Tarot deck. So let's just get started. And so I'm going to actually I'll do this. I'll light the sage, and so the sage will help clear away any old stagnant energy. And the funny thing was, if you watched my Instagram today, this is not very smoky, but if you saw my Instagram today, you would have noticed I drew the Earth Dragon card, which was about clearing away old energy. So there, now the sage is going. And so I'm just going to kind of put the deck out throughout the table so that this clears any old energy. And as always, just so everybody knows, I have grounded myself, and I have surrounded this read with my light team, which consists of archangels as well as ascended masters, and so that this message is protected. And so the messages I do give are of the light. And so we're going to clear, just kind of do a little mixing. I love this deck simply because the artwork is so beautiful, and this deck does speak to me with a little attitude. I love it because sometimes, you know, it's good to have a little sass and a little humor in our cards. I also do reads with the Angel Tarot deck, which is really a gentle deck. In fact, that's what introduced me to the world of tarot, because it took the scary cards, you know, and made them not so scary so that I could actually learn the messages behind us. I'm just going to kind of do just do some quick other shuffle, because I feel like just because I want you to see that I'm truly trying to mix these cards up. And all right, I think we did, and we'll give one more little cut, and then we'll start the shuffling. And I'll do this 6, 7 ways. Oops, and Pentacles, that showed. So just a quick, we got the Pentacles showing up. The 3 of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords showed up, which is actually very good. I'm just going to take this as a jumper card, just as a quick little guidance about the 3 of Pentacles is about career, finances, family. And if you look at the picture, it looks like the masculine energy here is cultivating growth. And so that's kind of what I see with this card. And then the 10 of Swords is about a transformation. And with the swords being kind of about our intellect, we may be coming, you know, there's been a lot of energies going on, thoughts circulating the globe, and I think we're coming to a point of transformation where changes are happening. And so, you know, again, it's about healing the earth. And this card showed up, the Eight of Cups. Don't be in doubt or uncertain, especially when you're being guided by the universe. The universe will not lead you astray. All right, so let's give this a good tap. Clear the energy, and we'll get started. All right, so you notice if I cleared the energy on my right hand, it's because my right hand is my dominant. The left hand is actually the non-dominant, is what you receive. So I'm going to shuffle 3 times, kind of in the thought process of the Holy Trinity. 3 is also associated with Ascended Masters. So we'll give it 3 shuffles and then we'll cut the deck. All right. So now let's just see what cards pop out. If we get the same read, then the universe wants us to continue with our lesson. Is that correct? All right. So that's our Sun. Woo! Almost dropped. Looks like this card wants to come out. All right. So, all right, let's do this. Okay, so the first card here is the Tower. So this card is in the traditional tarot, you know, it's like people get scared when they see the Tower card, you know, it's like, ooh, you know, doom. So what comes to me with this card is that we are at the pinnacle of having changes come about. And in the traditional tarot, the Fool, who is, I think, is believed to be the one that is in the Tower when it crumbles, they survive that ordeal. And they come out wiser and stronger for it. And so if you look at this card here, you know, it's I think it's Escher that did the drawings where, you know, it's like they were impossible drawings. And so what this kind of tells me is this is kind of us getting out of the confusion of our minds and trying to figure our way out. And so, you know, one world, it looks like it's let me see if I can pull this up a little clearer. It looks like it's, you know, almost like a normal house. And then you go in this direction, you know, you can kind of see what's going on in a corridor. And then you go here and it looks like it's a labyrinth of, you know, are we outside? Are we inside? You know, the skull. So what I'm kind of getting from this is we are coming out of the confusions of our minds. And so, as always, I want to read from the advice of the dead, because whether the card's in reverse or upright, which in this case we have the upright Tower, it has the dead speak with no reversal or you know, it's all the same. Okay, so with the Tower, the advice of the dead is destroy old structures and superficial structures without fear, and those that have become over time a prison, and liberate the energies that were enclosed within them. Wow. I mean, if this card speaks to about today with how we, you know, the way to heal the earth, you know, this morning, well, with yesterday's card, we drew the Earth Dragon. And so with the Earth Dragon, it's about releasing old stagnant energy, healing the earth. And so this card solidifies the universal calling for mankind to start healing the earth. Times of change are coming. So again, we have built our own prisons within our minds. And, you know, Bob Marley's line, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. No one but ourselves can free our own minds. Love that line. In fact, it was kind of my mantra when I was going through some difficult times, and it didn't happen overnight, but I had to release a lot of negative dogma, in which I created it as dogma because there was no way that was going to ever change my mind. And so once that healing began, positive things started happening. So the tower is here to remind us that we are able to change and let go of things that no longer serve us. All right, so let's look at the sun guidance. So what we have here for the sun are the Four of Swords. And so the Four of Swords is actually a card. Again, the Suit of Swords is about our intellect. So it looks like we have some thinking, or some cleansing of our mind, per se, so to say. So what this card comes to me as, in the traditional tarot, it's about the person taking a rest, taking a vacation. And so with this card being in the reverse position, what it's telling me is, because it looks like this person is, in this case, not negative, but the masculine energy is nailing the coffin shut. And so what I'm getting from this is that it's time to bury those negative thoughts. It's time to get rid of them and reshift our focus to positive, uplifting vibrations. I apologize for the pause because I'm just really absorbing all of this. So with the Four of Swords, like I say, this card is about kind of relaxing, but with the reverse position, what I'm picking up is just kind of not the opposite of where the action comes in, releasing thoughts, energies, and just burying them. And the thing I kind of find because as a Scorpio, I am so good at burying my emotions. And the problem with that, though, is when you continuously bury your negative emotions, I get to a boiling point where, all of a sudden I am just blowing up over an issue that happened 6 months ago. And people are like, well, why are you still mad? And so, and to me, it's a fresh wound. So the thing I want to say cautiously about this is burying this, again, is I feel that rather than burying it, enclose it in the protective light and send it to the source, send it to God, send it to love, where those negative thoughts that no longer serve you can come back as constructive guidance and love. So if you are dealing with, mental health issues, especially right now with COVID going on, the protests, the times of change where, we're also, some areas we're still in lockdown, seek help and release these emotions in a positive manner. So even though the literal picture here is about burying your emotions, I'm going to kind of take this reverse and say enclose it in the protective light and send it to the source. And so with that, let's read the Four of Swords, advice of the dead. So the advice of the dead is remain calm. Wait and use this moment of stasis to study and think deeply about all that you need for the near future. So again, there's an introspection and learning going on. So let's go to the moon, where, it's about the meditation or focusing on. Ooh, this is a very powerful card. So this is the death card in traditional tarot. And so this is Santa Muerte. And so this is in reverse. And so with Santa Muerte, again, she is about, she is a spirit of light and of darkness that can guide newly departed souls. She's also been there to help those who have been kicked out of churches, who have been judged harshly by the church, and she takes them in. So this card comes to me, actually, this is like, wow. So a lot of changes going on here. So this card is definitely about releasing what no longer serves us. And this is about transforming into a whole new you. And with this in the reverse position, what it's telling me is that there is fear about these changes, this transformation going forward, and you are blocking this. And so let's, and one thing I kind of want to talk about, I'm sorry, my hands are shaking, is that the 13 has been considered an unlucky number. But 13 is strongly associated with our ascended masters. So, and again, 13 breaks down to 4, in which 4 is the number of, being completely surrounded by angels. So there is help from the universe with ascended masters and angels. So let's read the advice of the dead for the Santa Muerte, number 13, the number 13 card, in which in this deck it's not called the death card, but it's called Santa Muerte. So with this, the advice, actually I'm going to read the reversal of this really quick. It says, the changes, however, are not always pain-free, but can bring with them trauma, anger, violence, and loss, including immobility when we refuse to take these transmutations. So when the universe is guiding you for change, and the sphere that you create for the change, what eventually happens is that you get put in an uncomfortable situation, so that the universe it's not punishing you, it's just trying to like nudge you in the right direction. And so when you refuse to kind of grow and change, you get in a point in your life where things aren't working for you, you're angry, you're depressed, and you don't know what's going on. And so with this, because like I say, the intent of the universe is to have you on a path where, there's abundance, there's happiness. And so when you resist this, or you're afraid, you're going to get a nudge. And that's kind of what that reversal of the death card means. So the advice of the dead is, accept the changes that are offered in front of you without fear of cutting ties and cutting yourself off from your old positions, old ideas, or preconceptions. A mutation is imposing itself. So this week, we're really going to go through powerful changes. And it's a beautiful thing. It's not a scary thing. And, like I say, I came from a place where, several years ago when I started doing the Angel Tarot, and I was still learning my reads, I listened to the authors of the Angel Tarot deck, Radley Valentine and Doreen Virtue, but Doreen Virtue has now taken a different path, where she has now renounced her cards. But Radley, was the author of the book, because he knows the tarot journey. So it used to crack me up because, again, they would talk about, oh, big changes are coming this week. They drew some major arcana card like here, with the number 13 or the towers, but they had a gentler message. And oh my God, it was like, oh, what's going to happen? And you fear these changes. And sometimes, like I say, the universe lovingly will say, yeah, you're going to go through some changes, so you're not so afraid. And so, again, just take a moment of time to reflect. And I always say, protect yourself, ground yourself, where you clear your thoughts of anything but the moment, and connect yourself with the source, with God, with the creator, with the center of the universe, with love, and just kind of in a blank slate, think about what is your happiness. Are you happy in the moment? Think about what it is I can do to heal this world. What can I do to bring healing to mankind? And it's amazing how the universe will answer. And so, lots of changes happening, but let's not go into fear mode. Let's keep in the positive and focus on our life purpose, focus on love, focus on light, and focus on abundance. Because you know what? The universe doesn't want us to suffer. The universe doesn't want us to just barely make ends meet. When we start thinking and appreciating what we have, and then start focusing and showing gratitude for the abundance that is to come, it will roll out much quicker. So with that, everybody, I want to send you love, light, and many, many, many blessings. Take care and have a happy week.